Hi everyone, this is Kelly at BookFunnel, and today we are going to be looking at some welcome sequences that some of our amazing users sent in to give us a chance to critique them, to see what works, what doesn't work, and maybe give all of you some information about what you can do in yours. Today we are going to be working with Amanda Corshi, I believe is how you say her name. I apologize if that's not quite right, Amanda. Thank you so much for sending in your entire welcome sequence so we can take a look. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to jump right into what we are looking for with these welcome sequences. When it comes to a welcome sequence, there are a few things that we want to make sure that we're conveying in our welcome sequence. So the first one is obviously the welcome letter, welcoming the person to your newsletter and giving them a little bit of a reminder of why they chose to come to your newsletter, why they signed up, and that they did sign up. So sometimes we just need to stay at the top of their minds. The second email typically is something personal. The reader gets to know you a little bit more and talks about your books. And we also want to have calls to action, not just in the first or the third or whatever, but we want to make sure that throughout we are giving them something to do, a call to action to download your reader magnet or to make sure that they're reviewing. So we're going to talk a little bit more about where you can put those in. You might also have something for community engagement, letting them know that this is what you're going to be getting for being a part of this community. So that's one of the things that we're going to be looking for with this. And then also at the end, a reminder to review your book, to look at the next books in the series and that sort of thing. So let's get started looking at Amanda's welcome sequence. This is the first one that she sends out with her welcome letter. And it says, "Hello there, lovely reader. I'm delighted you've joined my reader circle. Thank you." One of the things you'll see is that this author is referring to her newsletter as Amanda's reader circle, and it gives them that sense of community, which I really, really like. But you're going to be getting access to some exclusive things here. In this case, it's the exclusive access to Call It Anything But Love, which is a short story collection introducing the characters of their main book, Reputation. Call It Anything But Love isn't available at stores anywhere, but because you've signed up for the Reader's Circle, here's a link for free. And it comes to you, kind of gives you information about how it comes to you. Here's the cover of the book, which is lovely. And again, you're giving the reader that sense of exclusivity. You get to have this book because you joined my circle, and my circle gets to have special things. That's a really great way to convey that sense of value to your reader. They're not just going to have information thrown at them. They're actually going to get information about you and about your books. So this is a great way to introduce that exclusivity that you want them to have. There's a little bit of information about Reputation, the main story for this author. It will be going on submission to literary agents in 2025, and it will be published either way through traditionally published publisher, or directly through me. And this is just giving them more information about when to expect the book, what your plans are and goals are for the book. And it's just giving a lot of information to the reader. Again, exclusivity. Now they know a little behind the scenes. What are you trying to do with the book? Gives them a little behind the scenes look at that. I like that. And the interesting and fun part while you're waiting for that new book, in my emails, I will give a sneak peek into a few bits as well. There's some other things that are going to be coming, and they're just for you. And I love that. There's also an expectation right here. You're only going to hear from me about once a month. This is awesome because it gives that expectation of how many times they plan to hear. If it's once a week, that's okay. You'll hear from me at the end of every week, or I send out my newsletters on Tuesdays. Whatever it is that you do, it's nice to give them that expectation so that when it comes, they know what they're looking at. And then you also provide, again, Call It Anything But Love. Here, click here to get the book. Also gives a little information about BookFunnel and how we can help the reader if they have any trouble. That's always a good thing to put just about anything that you have. Okay, so some of the suggestions that I would have for this particular page for Amanda. The first thing is I would maybe consider getting a logo or something that is branded to you, and make sure that you have sort of that banner at the top. It feels a little sparse up here in the opening of it, and you want to have that reader, like that connection that they see that branding and they know that it's coming from you. So I might suggest that you put in some sort of header or banner that is branded to you and the brand that you choose for your book, and it can convey your genre and give out a little bit more expectations for your readers. The other thing that I would do, you're probably going to hear me say this a lot in this series, is I would add a button. Buttons get pressed. Buttons, buttons, buttons. If you have a freebie that you want to give away to your readers, if you have something that you want them to click, it's okay to have it also be a clickable image, but it's better. Something about having a button makes a person's brain want to click it. And so if you're giving away a freebie, have that call to action right there underneath. It could be right here underneath, because you do want to display the graphic. This is a beautiful picture or a visual of the cover. You want to have that, but give them buttons so that it's not just a link or an image they're clicking, because they might miss clicking this. So just maybe add a button here that links them to the exact same place as the image, exactly the same. And that would give them a little bit another place to click. And you can keep how this one right here is a hyperlink. You can keep that one too. You can have it in multiple places, because in the end of the day, you really want to catch their attention enough, at least with one of the multiple ways to click. So for your welcome, the very first one, that's what I would suggest. And you have a lovely picture of yourself here too. That's always a good idea. If you have a nice picture, an author photo or a selfie, this is something you should add in there as well. Okay, and now we have loaded up number 2, the second in her sequence. This one again is sent 3 days later, and it's just the reminder email. And that's how she's using this. So, hello, dear reader. I do hope you're enjoying Call It Anything But Love. Maybe you've read it cover to cover. Maybe you're still admiring the cover. Please enjoy it at your own pace. And when you're through, if you'd like to share some feedback, I'd love to hear from you. Or you can do it on this Google form to keep it anonymous. And it's really I like this because it's just it's very short, it's very sweet. It's very just, did you enjoy the book? And I would love to hear from you if you did. I do recommend, and this is just what I might do here, is add a call to action button again. Did you get it? If you haven't, here's that link to the BookFunnel page again. That way, they can go, oh, you know what? I forgot to download that book. And they have it right there in a button. And just have it there for just in case they didn't catch it the first time. You don't want them to have to go back and look for that thing again, that link again. Okay, so again, this is short and sweet. I think that same header issue would be great to have that header up there. But otherwise, I really like how just very quick, do you remember me sort of thing, and it moves on. So I like that. Oh, and I also like that you provide an email address and a Google form so that they can do it privately. I think that's really great. Okay, and here we have the next email in the sequence. And one of the notes that Amanda had left for this one is that this email only goes out to people who haven't already downloaded the book. And I think what they did and what she did is possibly set it up so that if they haven't opened that first or second emails, that this one goes out to remind them that they have the freebie. And I like this idea too. This is something that even if you do put the link in the one that we just talked about, like the last one, you can put the link again in this one and be like, hey, hello, do you remember, do you need anything here? And I think that's a really great, effective way to do this. So in this case, they say, hello, your copy of Call It Anything But Love is waiting for you. Like, hey, you haven't opened that yet. You don't want to miss out. So here's that link one more time. But other than that, I think this is a really great, effective tool. Okay, so the next one comes, from what I understand, 14 days later. So we have initial 3, and then 14. Give me just a sec. Okay, so now we are on email number 4. And this one's a little different because it's several days after, it's 10 days after the previous one. And so it's been a little bit longer, giving them time to read, which is always good. And so this one is a little bit more of a call to action when it comes to reviews as well. So hello, I hope you are enjoying Call It Anything But Love. Did it surprise you, trouble you, make you cry? Basically a conversation starter, trying to get them and like, oh yeah, when I read it, it did this. I felt this, or I had this reaction. And that's what you want. You want them to be kind of like, oh yeah, I really did like that book. I want to, make sure that I'm putting out the reviews for it. Were there characters you loved or hated? Or was it just not your kind of book? And that's acknowledging that maybe you didn't love it. It's okay. Reviews of books help other readers decide to try books of new authors, and it's critical feedback that helps writers write better. So whatever your thoughts, I'd be delighted to hear. Remember, a few words or a few lines is more than enough. Here's some easy ways to send reviews or feedback, and then it's to reply to the email. Normally I would block them out. I was actually hiding some of the things because I thought it wasn't public. This is her public email address, so that's okay. Filling out the Google form, you don't have to use your actual name. You can just tell me what you think without putting your name behind it. And then, of course, sending feedback and reviews is not your style. That's okay. Till next time, happy reading. Okay, so this is just a review, like call to action. It's not asking for reviews on a site that might actually appear in other places. That's the only thing that I'm noticing about this one. I know this is a reader magnet, and that's okay. You don't have to have an Amazon listing or anything like that. But you might want to consider doing maybe a Goodreads page for this reader magnet. It is still a book, even if it's a free book that you're giving away. And you are collecting reviews and feedbacks, but you might want to consider creating a little bit of that social proof out there that people are reading your book, they are enjoying it. And hey, if you enjoyed it, here's the Goodreads link, and maybe put it out there. And that could maybe help with your upcoming release as well, which is what you're actually trying to drive traffic to. So that would be my suggestion. Okay, so this email is a little bit different. If you notice, it says, welcome to Amanda's Reader Circle. Okay, so what this particular email is this email is Amanda's link. If they've signed up to get this book from the back of the book, if they've signed up to be on her newsletter from the back of the book, or they've already accessed the reader magnet that we were talking about. So this is a slightly different entry into the newsletter. And I wanted to show this with the others because this is the only email that I believe is going to be in this sequence. And we can talk a little bit more about that, I think, here. But this is the welcome letter that has a slightly different tone. It's talking to a slightly different audience, still a new sign up, a new subscriber, but it's a slightly different audience. They have already most likely read Call It Anything But Love. And now they're being put through a different funnel or a different sequence. So I wanted to show them together so that you could see that it doesn't have to be a ton of extra work. A lot of people get a little overwhelmed with having multiple automation sequences, but if you just take them one little bit at a time, they really aren't that complicated. So with Amanda's, we have, thank you so much for reading Call It Anything But Love. So we're automatically knowing that this person has already read this book. I do hope you enjoyed it. Please do reply to this email if you'd like to share with me and other readers your feelings on Call It Anything But Love. Again, circling back to the reader magnet, that is a collection of short stories. Please, let's see, there's an anonymous link at the bottom going back to that Google Doc that they can anonymously leave feedback if, they want to tell her something privately that they don't want to have out in public. And then it gives more information about the novel Reputation, which again, this is a reader magnet that is funneling to Reputation. I'm working hard on getting my novel Reputation ready for you. In it, you'll meet many of the characters from Call It Anything But Love. Again, what is it about? What is Reputation about? A young Muslim woman, a reckless affair, and intimate photographs. The young Muslim is named Asaya. I believe I'm saying that right. I'm so sorry if I'm not. 7 years into her future, but I won't say any more. I don't want to spoil any of this for you. So it gives a little taste of what the book's about. And remember, these readers have already had access to the reader magnet. So they may actually know who that character is and might be excited to learn more about the reckless affair and the photographs. And then again, it goes back to very similar to, it's kind of a callback to the other welcome. You are going to be getting this information. So the reader circle emails will be brief, sometimes fun, sometimes sober. I'll sneak in some personal bits as well, and links to join, to do anything interesting over at Trouble at Taboo Junction on Medium. So another platform that Amanda is on it, or on Substack. Only thing I would say here is the links, which might be nice to have these be a hyperlink so that I can click and be taken over to Trouble at Taboo Junction on Medium, and then also to the Substack. So you can have links there so that readers can be like, or you can go here, I like Substack or I like Medium. And so maybe make those hyperlinks to have them to be directly, like, to lead them to where you want them to go. You only hear from me about once a month, with an exception of when a book is near to launch. How close is it to being ready? One more edit and I'll be submitting it to literary agents. So again, giving information on your plans for this book behind the scenes, which is really nice. A lot of readers really like that. And wishing you many great books. Okay. And then here's the link to that anonymous form. And here's Amanda. Lovely, lovely. Okay. So just a few things that I would maybe add in here besides those hyperlinks. You might consider creating a second incomplete welcome sequence for this different welcome, this entry point. It does feel like this is a little bit compressed into like all that information that we went through with the other links. It kind of felt like it was a little bit rushy, maybe not needing like 4 new emails, but maybe giving a couple of emails because you want them to be remembering you and remembering where they met you in the first place. So it might be a good idea for you to add a couple more emails, just giving some more information about you and about the book itself. Again, buttons, I always say buttons, but I think that's always really important. Here's another place that I might put a public review link place, like a Goodreads type thing. Even if you don't, like I said, if you don't have it on Amazon, obviously it's a reader magnet, but you can be getting reviews for it. So maybe look into doing that as well. Now, since you're planning to put reputation through the traditional publishing route and try to get a literary agent, you probably don't want to have it up on Amazon or any place like that. But for anyone else who's watching this, it might be a really good idea if you have a reader magnet that is out because you are building your newsletter for when a release happens way out in the future. Like it's not anytime soon. It's coming in the future. You would want to have your pre-order link in here. And then that way you can be gathering, like somebody can go click, yep, I want to buy it. You could do that on your direct sales site. We've often talked about even books that are going into KU when they're released, you can be selling them as a pre-order on your own site and then release them on Amazon. That's one way that some people do it. You don't have to, obviously. It's not, everyone has their reasons. Sometimes you want all of the sales to go to Amazon so that it helps your ranking. Really just depends on what you're working on. But that's something that I would suggest for anyone who is planning on using their reader magnet to gain followers before a release, is to always have your pre-order button somewhere within your welcome sequence. So one other suggestion that I would have, and this is totally optional, of course, not everybody enjoys having their own personal information on their welcome sequence, but it might be a good idea to let the reader know a little bit about yourself within your welcome sequence. Usually it falls somewhere around the second or third email. Doesn't have to. Again, you can choose to kind of keep yourself away and not have like your author bio in there. But I do highly suggest, like I suggest it for myself. It doesn't have to be a lot of information or a lot of personal information, but just about your career, who you are, and why they should stick with you. So that would be another suggestion that I would have for this sequence. So that is everything that I have today. And I want to say thank you so much to Amanda for being brave and giving us this opportunity to take a look at her welcome sequence and let everybody see it. I hope that this helped some of you who are like stuck and don't know what to do. It gives you some really great ideas, and I hope it helped Amanda as well. So thank you, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Check out these other videos from BookFunnel, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.